Hey, hi, hello. It's the Jesse LaSala Show, episode number 84 for August 28th, 2025. My guest today is Mrs. Claire Urdaz. Claire, how say you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Fantastic. Um, this is a pretty surreal moment for the podcast. You want to explain to the listeners how we met?
Say that one more time.
Can you explain to the listeners how we met?
Yes. So we met when I was in kindergarten. He helps me with my AR test. I passed all of them because of him. He was, I believe, an assistant teacher assistant.
Right.
So yes, we've been knowing each other since I was 5 years old. So
It is a little weird, but I met your mother who was working at the school at the time. You remember how I met her?
if I remember correctly, through Austin.
Right, right.
Okay.
And but do you remember I wouldn't say incident, but there was a time where I had to go up to her and explain to her, hey, don't worry about this, it's all good, and that's how we became friends.
hmm
Remember what that
Um,
was?
I don't remember.
Okay. Well, you were in kindergarten, it's fine.
Yeah.
But I think there was some sort of like, okay, I was walking past and you and your classmates were like slapping me on the butt or something like that.
Oh.
And whoever the teacher was at that time flipped out, right?
Oh my gosh.
And you started crying and you were like, I was like, no, no, it's fine. They're just playing around. Everybody was giggling. And then the teacher was like, this is not okay. I'm going to go speak to your mother. And then afterwards, I went and talked to your mom, and I was like, dude, this is not a big deal. Like, I felt so bad for you, basically.
Yeah.
But then me and your mom became like friends and everything, and she got me a lot of references to future teaching jobs and everything. So she was very clutch in that way. And then so we became friends on Facebook, and then all of a sudden I see little Claire Urdaz growing up throughout the years, playing volleyball, and then joining the Air Force, the Navy, which is it?
It's the Air Force.
Air Force. Okay.
Hmm
Let's go back to volleyball because I'm a huge volleyball fan at this point.
Yeah.
Like it's on right now. I'm watching like reruns of last year's game. Um, what position did you play?
I was pretty flexible, so I was an outside hitter, but I was also a DS.
Okay.
So, if a player was injured or a player was making many mistakes, I was good to step in for any position really, except for the setter. But I could hit outside, right side, and play in the back row. So I was pretty flexible in that sense. I tried to keep myself that way. That way, I would be played all the time, no matter what. And, it's good to be good at multiple things, not just, stick to one. So, yeah, that's the path I took. But mainly I was an outside hitter.
Nice. Yeah. How tall are you about?
I'm 5'6".
Okay. So you could have been a libero or
I could have,
libero.
yeah. Surprisingly, my team, I was a little bit like on the taller side of my team, but despite, I may seem short for a volleyball player, I had the hops. Like I could jump
Okay.
really high. So that was one of the, a really good thing to have as a hitter because, obviously blocking and everything, you got to get up there. So yeah, that's one of my main things that made me really powerful as a player.
What were some of your favorite drills? Because I've been watching like sort of like training videos and like they do the thing where they bunny hop the ball over like some sort of basket and or into a basket over like a net or something? Like, what were some of the best drills that like made you nice around the net?
So as a volleyball player, as a hitter, you had to learn how to hit in different directions. Like whenever you go up, you always have to have a plan. You can't just swing at the ball. So there's a line shot, there's a cross shot, and then there's just straight in the middle. So we call it a cut shot whenever you go down the line, and then a cross body shot when you go down the net. So what my coach used to do is she would stand at the net, and we would stand next to her, and she would toss balls at us, but we would just hit them directly under the net, just so we can get our hand placement correct for whichever way we wanted to hit the ball. That was one of my favorites, because it gave me a lot more clarity on my hand movement. And then also I liked DS drills. So sometimes, like during warm-ups before a game, we would get a partner and a ball, and they would toss it really short, and we'd have to run, 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 and then pancake it. So like slide on the ground and try to hit it with our hands. Just like passing in general, I really liked, but any hitting drill, it was my favorite. I love to hit. So
Did y'all do like scouting reports on the other teams? Like, yo, this girl on whatever high school, she's terrible. So if we hit in her direction, she's not gonna be able to do it or return.
we all pretty evenly did the warm-ups. But, obviously the girls who had more skill were they had more playing time, and usually the girls who weren't as great, they would be like backups. Or like if we were doing very, very well in the game, they would take out the really good starters, the players, and then they would put in the girls who weren't amazing. That way they got time on the court and experience.
Right.
So I would say it was pretty evenly split. Like we all got fair chance to, train and play. So yeah.
But what about like y'all didn't watch film on other teams?
Oh, watch film? We would every now and again, but not very much. I did personally off to the side my personal time. But we weren't required to. We did lots and lots of workouts. If we would ever watch film, it would be our own and to
Okay.
just kind of point out like this is good, this is not good, this is what we need to fix, and
Right.
this was successful. So we kept a lot of stats and everything in video of our games, and yeah, we would
That's
do that.
awesome. So okay, so then you never had like your senior year, you weren't like getting offers from colleges or to go play.
Well, my senior year was a little complicated. Um, I just kind of decided I didn't really want to play in college. Through my whole career, that was like my set goal. Like I just wanted to play in college, but as my senior year approached, I realized like I'm not tall. Like I'm not gonna be a hitter for a D1 school. And that wasn't the worst thing ever, but I wanted to go to university for my education. I didn't want to go to like a D3 school just to play volleyball, and like LSU has always been my dream. So I decided, maybe it's just for fun. And then also the aspect of playing time and competition and just like club volleyball, a lot of that sometimes can be discriminative, if you could say
Right,
that.
right,
Like, because, club volleyball, it's not cheap, and most of the girls who play club volleyball are in private schools, and they are fortunate, so they were able to either, kiss butt to the coach, they get more playing time, or I'll pay you a little bit more, I get playing time. But I'm not that kind of person or player. Like I like to work for what I get, so the playing time that I get, I feel like I earned it. So I was kind of like, it just it didn't help me out because I barely got playing time just because of that, just because I didn't kiss button at any of that. So I just realized, like I just want to play for fun. So every now and again, I'll go play volleyball on the court, or I'll go to a beach court, and it's still really fun. It's very active, and yeah, I have my focus on other things now.
so that brings me to okay, plan B. All of a sudden, I see you in army fatigues, and I'm like, wait, what's going on here? What happened there?
Yes. So, the Air Force. So My senior year, so I've always thought about it, and honestly, I never brought it up because that type of thing is just like, what? Like you in the Air Force? No, no. So, it's just kind of in the back of my mind. And, me and my uncle, my mom's brother, Toby, we're very close. He's an engineer, and that's what I'm going for as well. And he was also in the army, so I look up to him a lot. He was my main inspiration for this. And not until I started doing research, I realized like this could really set me up for my future, benefit wise. Like they pay for my entire tuition. I go to college for free. Literally, they pay me to go to college, actually. So it's very nice. Also, I mean, I get to go and do a job that civilians don't ever get to really do or think about. So that's also awesome. And then just like the aspect of training, like basic training and technical training, that I feel is something that not only helps you with, Air Force related stuff, but just as a person, like it develops you and you learn a lot of discipline and just great things in life that you carry for the rest of your life. So I feel like that's something I needed in that point in time. I was having like social issues at school, so that really helped me kind of grow from that and move on and yeah.
I mean, that's amazing, but like you said, you even yourself thought like, what? I'm not gonna go do this. But then I'm wondering, like, how was the transition from being just like probably a bubbly high school chick to all of a sudden you're standing at attention and getting yelled at maybe, or having to get up at a certain time and make your bed, and if it's not made right, then you have to drop and give them 20 or whatever. I don't know. I don't know. You explain to me.
Sounds familiar. Yeah. So, at that point in time, I was like, I have nothing to lose right now. Like, what do I have to lose? I just shave off 1 year of college, I take a gap year, go through this training, and I come back and I have a lot more than what I left with. So I decided, I'm gonna go for it because there's literally no downside to it. There was none. The only thing I had to sacrifice was being away from family for a long time and not having a phone, which was great, honestly. Like I was fine with that, not having technology for that long, and coming back with free education and benefits that will last me literally a lifetime. So in the end of the day, like I really thought about it and it's like it's a benefit. It's all a benefit. It's a win-win for me. So I'm just gonna go for it. And I don't care what people think. Some people might be like, that's weird. Like, why is she doing that? Like, but I don't care. It's what benefits me. And honestly, it turned out for the best. So I'm really grateful for the whole experience.
That's awesome. And the only thing I was thinking was like, oh no, they're gonna send her to war. Oh my God, this is crazy. Like,
Yeah.
what uh what was like the most dangerous interaction you had while you were at camp, and where was the camp?
So first we had basic training. Basic training was about 2 months long. That was a point in time where we didn't have phones or anything. I packed a backpack with two outfits, a toothbrush, and shipped on. Um, this training was basically turning us from a civilian to, an airman. It was very strict, obviously, you had to make your bed a certain way. They were called bed drills. So we would all like make our bed and we had 6 minutes to make 53 beds. So it was chaos, that's to say the least. But eventually we got it done. The way the training goes is they break you down and then they build you up. So it's very sometimes discouraging, but then, you get the hang of it and you start to adapt to these new things that you're learning and it starts to get easier and more accomplishing. You feel very accomplished once get through the training. Um, I would say the hardest thing, we went through three pretty hard things mainly. So the first one was sea burn, aka the gas chamber. Secondly, we went through Cadam, aka shooting guns, and then the third one was Pacer Forge, which was like a deployment type of thing. So they brought us out to the woods in the middle of nowhere. We stayed in tents and they had these like fake bombs going off, and every time the bombs would go off, we'd have to run to the shelter and security, which we assigned security for our teams. We'd have to run out and scope the area and do what we were trained to do. I will say Pacer Forge was my favorite. It was really fun, honestly, except bombs were going off at like 2, 3, 5 in the morning, and it's like, oh, I just want to sleep.
Right.
But, I got to be security, so I felt like, I don't know, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm in the military. This is great. Like, I'm shooting my gun. Like, it was really fun. But also good knowledge. The scariest part was the gas chamber, I'm not gonna lie, because at this point in time, everybody was sick. Everyone, except for me. Surprisingly, I did not get sick the whole time, which I'm very blessed
Was
because
this
everyone
COVID
got sick.
times or just regularly sick?
Well, it's just some people got COVID, some people got strep, some people got pneumonia, some people got just a bunch of crazy stuff because it's people from all over the world, some people from different countries come together in one tight space, 53 girls. So it's just a lot going on. So people are bound to get sick. We also got shots and everything, but some people, their immune system is not great. Luckily for me, mine is, so I did not get sick, but the gas chamber I was scared of because I've seen videos of it and it's like, oh my gosh, like my lungs are gonna be on fire and it's gonna be horrible. But since I wasn't sick, it was not bad for me at all. It was not bad. It just kind of burned my eyes a little bit, and like if you're sweating, which you definitely were sweating, it burned wherever it was wet. So my palms of my hand were sweating, like my stomach was hurting, my eyes were burning, I couldn't open them. But once you got out and you like blinked it out and just, breathed and had some time, it was fine. So yeah.
So what kind of gas were they pumping in? Like this gas chamber? Like if you inhaled some of it, could it knock you out?
No, so what they used was tear gas. They only used like I think 0.5% of tear gas.
Okay.
And so it's not supposed to knock you out, it's just supposed to kind of hurt a little bit. But in a war in Iraq, I believe, they use like 50% tear gas. So that is what like really knocks people out. So they weren't trying to knock us out. Nobody got knocked out unless I mean, no one got knocked out. Some people just fell to the ground, but I mean, if you fall to the ground, you fail. If you cross like a certain line in the chamber, you fail. If you drop your mask, you fail. Like you have to like hold your mask to your chest and literally just stand still. And so it's kind of hard, but you know, it only lasted a few seconds. They didn't keep us in there for long, so it wasn't too bad, but
Gee,
yeah.
still. I mean, I that gives me the heebie-jeebies just thinking about it. I don't know, being in like an enclosed box, gas
Oh
coming,
yeah.
feeling pain. You're definitely a harder warrior than I would ever be. I would have to say that, and that's not saying much because I'm kind of a bitch. But uh, what was the ratio to men to female, or were you just only in a female brigade or whatever they call it?
So, so we were in Alcatraz, which is the dorm that we were in. So this dorm was, I believe, 3 floors. So there was different dorms on each floor. And each dorm, like room, was one gender. So my dorm was all women, 53 of us, and then the dorm under us was 53 men. So the way it works with women is women can't be in their own flight because there's too many men. So we have to conjoin the flights and I forget what they call it, but it's like a brother and sister flight. That's what they call it.
Okay.
So we were joined by men as well. However, in our own dorms, it was just the women in there. But I would say in the whole dorm, just, in the whole base, really, way more men than women. And, it's not a problem, but, we had to mix a lot with the men, which I think was great for like us socially and also like our standards were not changed from the men. Like we still had the same standards, which I really liked. So yeah. And then we also had special forces. So we had like the people who go do TAC P and Loadmasters and all that kind of stuff. They were also training with us in the same dorms. So it was pretty neat.
What was the food like?
What was that?
The food?
The food, man, I'm not gonna lie, it was great.
Really?
I liked it. I like the breakfast was the best. Like They had French toast, pancakes, like those were the best things. I used to eat yogurt bowls, so I would grab yogurt and then put granola and fruits and peanut butter. Peanut butter was my best friend in there. Like I literally ate peanut butter all the time, and bananas, and they had really good options, is what I can say. Lunch, not so good. Not, I didn't really like lunch, but dinner, it was okay. It was here and there. Sometimes if I didn't like what they served, I would literally just make a sandwich, or I would eat yogurt again, or make cereal. But most of the time they had really good things. They had grilled cheese on Fridays, so that was always fun.
Oh, that was like y'all's pizza party, having grilled cheese.
Yeah, we always look forward to Fridays because they had grilled cheese. But yeah, the food overall was good, it was really good. So
Did y'all have any like fun time? Like, all right, guys, y'all done really well. Here's like a social event, or we're gonna take this day off and just play ping pong or whatever.
yeah. So in basic training, Sundays were our free days. So we would grind and train and do all kind of stuff, wake up at 5 in the morning, or actually it was 4:30 in the morning every single morning until Sunday. So Sunday we had the option to go to church, and our MTIs, our military training instructors, they would not come in except for at night to like, make sure our chores are done and our beds are made and all that stuff. So Sundays were our chill days, and that's the days we got to like write letters, ship letters off, read our letters, hygiene time, just, kind of unwind and reset our week. But technical training, which it's like school, it's what I went to after basic training. Um, we had phases. So there was phase one, which is when you first get there, you only wear your camouflage. They're called OCPs. You only wear your OCPs. You can't wear civilian clothes, and you can't leave base. Um, and you had a curfew of like 10 o'clock. And then phase two, you got to wear your OCPs, and your curfew extended to 12, I believe. 12 o'clock, and you could leave base, but only like you'd have to come back. You can't like stay off base. And then phase three, you can wear civilian clothes. Your curfew is 2 o'clock in the morning. And if you requested it, you could sleep off base. So tech school, we had a lot more flexibility. Basic training was more of just training. We only had one day off.
Okay, so yeah, once you get to tech, a little more laid back. That's crazy though. Still a 2 o'clock curfew. I mean,
I know.
did you ever take
But
them
tech
up on
school,
that?
they had like, hmm?
Did you ever take them up on the 2 o'clock curfew and just go out on the town?
Well, not really. Honestly, like they had like a bar on base, so it was called the Airmen's Club. So we would just go, and they had pool tables and air hockey and just all the table games, and if you were of age you could drink, and they had food. So I would go there every once in a while with my friends. But I don't know. I'm not like extremely like going out all the time. I'll go out sometimes, but I didn't like to stay out till 2 in the morning, especially in a place where I wasn't familiar with and I couldn't bring my car. So that's the part that sucked. I had to take the bus everywhere, but and I walked a lot. Like everywhere I went, I had to walk. So usually I was, back in my room by probably 10 or 12. Just doing my thing. But most of the time I would go out and play pool with everybody. That's something I picked up on. So it's like one of my hobbies now. I love pool. Um, sometimes I'd go out to the track, I'd go run, or I'd go to the gym, work out. There was a lot of things to do on base, so I usually just stayed on base. The only time I went off is if I wanted to, go to Target or TJ Maxx or get food or something. So yeah.
Were there ever any budding romances between the soldiers?
Yes. Oh my goodness.
There was some drama. Could they
So
make a reality TV show about it?
honestly, yeah, like in basic training, so the first or the second day that we got there, we all had to go to medical. So that's where they gave us our shots and just everything that we needed. They gave everybody a pill, and it was basically a hormonal pill. So it kind of controlled everyone's hormones and everything. And it lasted probably about 5 weeks. And this training was 7.5. So by the time week five ended, everyone was going nuts. Like everyone was like trying to get with each other and, you know, like, oh, what tech school are you going to? We should meet up. Like just like trying to.
We
This
get your
one guy,
number. Right.
oh my gosh, this one guy who was in my brother flight, he wrote a love letter to some girl in my dorm, and I'm just like this is just crazy. It was craziness, but
Wait, did she read it out loud to y'all?
yeah, like she read it out to some people. I kind of heard what it was. It was like, I'm willing to make this work, and I want to talk to you. They didn't work
Wow,
out,
dude.
to say the least. They did not. But tech school was different. You had more freedom, so people went off. To do their own thing.
Okay.
So yeah, that's also why I kind of just stayed in because mostly there was mostly men and I had a boyfriend at the time. So I'm like, I don't really I'll hang out with my friends, but like I don't want to, you know,
Get a hit
anyone to
on
get the
all
wrong
the time.
idea.
Yeah, yeah.
So I was just here for friends. So yeah, it was fun though. Some people I had a good little group of friends. I miss them all the time. Everyone was active except for me. I was guard. So I came back home after the training, but them after the training they shipped off to like, Korea, Japan, North
Wow,
Carolina, wherever. So we're all separated now, but we keep up with each other, so it's nice.
that's cool. So now you're at
Mhm.
LSU, yes?
Say that again?
You're at LSU now?
One more time? Sorry.
Louisiana State University. You're
Yes,
you're
yes.
there now. Okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
LSU is just how I've always said it. LSU. Like
Yeah, LSU.
so you're a tiger, like you've always wanted to be, majoring in engineering, you said?
Yes.
Okay.
Mechanical engineering.
Okay. So how many weeks has it been on campus now?
How long have
Yeah.
I been here?
Yeah.
So I moved to Baton Rouge at the beginning of July. So I've been living here the whole month of July, and my first day of school was actually this past Monday. So I've been here for about 2 months now.
And you're liking
So
the roommate situation?
yeah, it's good. Actually, one of my roommates is my cousin, and so we're very close. So we hang out a lot, and I have friends over. It's nice. My roommates are cool. I talk to them every once in a while if we, meet up. But everyone kind of does their own thing here. Everyone goes to school, goes to work, comes home, goes with friends. So, it's not very often that we'll run into each other, but when we do, it's nice to talk to them. So yeah, I like it here.
You have a job over there while you're in school?
Not yet. The military pays me every month, so as of right now, I don't like necessarily need a job.
Right.
I also kind of wanted to feel out how school would go this first semester to see if I could, handle a job because I don't really need one, but for my social life, like I kind of want one, and it just makes me feel more secure to have a job. So as of right now, I don't, but I'm looking into student jobs. So working on campus, they're way more flexible and they pay as well, and I can meet other students. So yeah, I'm looking into that as we speak. But yeah, hopefully I can get something like that.
Yeah, perfect. I mean, like you said, they're paying you to be at this school. Like that's the ultimate perk. So I don't want to see you at
Yeah.
like a Raising Cane's chicken, filling up people's
Yeah.
sodas or whatever.
Yeah. I was gonna get an off-campus job like to serve or something, but they have walk-ons, chimes, all that. But the only problem with that is like you have to work on a game day. And I've never been to an LSU game and I want to go and
Oh,
participate in all that. So I was like, nah, like I'm just gonna get a student job. They'll understand if I don't go to work. So it's way
right,
easier with my major and just my social life. So yeah.
right, right. So do you plan on going to an LSU game, like the first one coming up? I guess is it
Yeah,
this
for
weekend
sure.
or next weekend?
The first game is next weekend. I won't be able to make it next weekend because I have drill, but the weekend after that, they have another game. So I'm gonna go to that one. That would be my first game.
And y'all get free tickets, right? Just for being students.
No, you have to pay for your tickets. They do this thing called it's like a ticket package. You pay $125 and you get tickets for every single game ever in any sport.
Oh
So
wow,
it's a really good deal. So yeah, I got the package so I can go to football games, volleyball games, gymnastics meets, like everything for free. So it's
awesome.
great.
That is
Yeah.
pretty cool. Yeah, go to those volleyball games, man. Maybe it'll be one of those like movie moments where the ball comes to you in in the stands and you like spike it back down and they're like, who is
Yeah.
she? And then you like walk on, that could
Oh
happen.
yeah,
I don't know.
man. That'd be great. Man, I would love to play in college. It's just, I also like to watch. So for sure I'll be going to some games. They've already had some, but I've been a little busy with school starting and I went shadow and engineer, so I've just been kind of busy with things. But for sure I'll be going to games. They're gonna be extremely exciting, so I can't wait for that to start.
Yeah. Um, my favorite college team is Nebraska. No offense to LSU, but LSU is a good team. You know,
Yeah,
go try it out. That would be amazing. I mean, why
yeah,
not?
for sure. Yeah, I
See,
could walk on as a libero maybe.
I'm telling you, you can just and libero is so cool. You get to wear like the opposite jersey. Like that to
Yeah,
me was like the coolest part. Obviously, they
right,
would have to
yeah.
put me at outside hitter because I'm 6'5",
Yeah.
but it would be a little weird to see a tall libero. But
I know.
that's awesome though. All
Yeah.
right, so we're gonna take a short break, and then we're gonna come to the fun part of this where I ask you some just stupid, ridiculous questions that also I'd like to know the answers to, if that's cool.
Okay. Yeah,
All right,
that's cool.
so go eat a bag of Cheetos or something, and we'll be right back.
All right, sounds good.
And we're back with the Jets of LaSala show, episode 84. My guest today is Mrs. Claire Urdaz. I guess I'm not supposed to say Mrs., right? That's a Southern thing. You're just Claire Urdaz. Um, okay, so these are some stupid, dumb, ridiculous questions that also I'd like to know the answers to. You can pass on any of them, but it's just a little insight on your personal life, and also just stupid questions. So here we go. What's the most money you've ever found on the ground?
On the ground? I think I'd say about $20.
Not bad, right?
It's pretty good, yeah.
Um, you ever find like a wallet and like go return it to be like, hey, I found this wallet.
No, actually I've never really found a wallet, but found $20 actually in New York. So,
Oh, there you
yeah.
go. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I found $20 in New York too. It was in one of those photo booths where you go in, and you take silly pictures with whoever. And so I
Yeah.
went in there just to, I think I was gonna do the pictures with my girl, and there was just like $20 just sitting into the place where you put the $20 in. So I was like, okay, so I guess this is mine now, and I used it for the photos. Good time.
Yeah.
Um, have you ever had an imaginary friend?
No, I have not.
Not that you know of. Okay, all right.
No.
Have you ever gone to or hosted a garage sale or a house or
Yes,
yard sale?
I've gone to plenty of them. I like to go to old people's like sales because I love like the vintage and the old things and everything. Actually, I got a big, huge box recently of mason jars, and I love mason jars for some reason. You can put
Yes.
anything in them. So it was a massive box of like 25 of them, and some of them they were all different, which I liked about it. Some of them were green, which is my favorite color, and it's the theme of my room. So I was like, hey, like I'll pick them up. So I got those, and then there's some cute little ones that, you put earrings in or whatever. And my mom, she likes to craft. So, I didn't need 25 mason jars in my room, so I gave her most of them, but I took what I wanted. So, and the jewelry, the furniture, all of that, I just love. So, yeah, I've been to plenty yard sales and garage sales and all that.
Yeah, it's always nice when you can find like a steal. It's like, wait,
Yeah,
all this for $3? We're trying to get
right,
rid of it, blah blah blah. It's been sitting in the garage for this long, and you're like, I'll take it. Let's do it.
right.
Remember
Yeah.
as a kid, my grandma was huge into garage sales, and I mean, she would have the damn paper out, and she'd be circling all the spots she wanted to hit up. And then she would wake us up at like 6 in the morning, and like we'd go driving to like these random houses, and she'd be like picking through. She was an antique collector, and she'd be
Oh
like,
yeah.
"Look at that owl, that ceramic owl. We have to get it's like 25 cents." But she goes home and she like looks it up on her AOL back in the day dial-up internet. And she's like, "This is actually worth $3. So we got to steal, you know?" And it was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
all right. I'm
Yeah.
gonna go
That's
back to
how it was
sleep."
for me too. Like the whole box of mason jars, 25 of them. I mean, it was like $3. And I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. I mean, if I had my own place, I'd probably get more furniture and like lamps and stuff like that. But I'm just renting out a room, so that's what I have for now. But definitely for sure when I get my own place, I'll be probably collecting things like that.
And then one day you'll have your own garage sale and you'll sell all that stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Be there being like, I like when people try to haggle too. It's like, I don't know, this DVD of Twister from back in the day, you're saying you need a dollar for it? I'll give you 50 cents. They're like,
Yeah,
75. All right, sold. That's always the weirdest part of those things.
I know.
Did you ever have a lemonade stand growing up?
Absolutely, I did. So I did dance for 10 years and one year, actually, I think it was the year before I quit. I was invited to the competitive team and I wanted to raise money. So me and my dad, we built a lemonade stand out of just wood and we painted it, decorated it, whatever. And me and my brother were out there for 2 days selling lemonade. We made muffins, sold muffins, and we were just in the neighborhood and we collected a good amount. So I had supportive neighbors. So sometimes they would tip us like $20 and, you
Nice.
know, they would buy a bunch of stuff like over and over. So it was nice. Yeah, it was, really fun.
Was the lemonade good though?
Of course, it was homemade. Yeah, it was
Okay, all
great.
right. It wasn't just like you went to Albertsons and poured some in a big jug.
Oh no, we made the lemonade. So we made everything that we sold. So
Nice.
yeah,
All right. Well, God, that just takes me back. Okay, so do you remember when I tried to give you piano lessons?
I do.
Was that the same house that y'all did the
Yeah,
lessons? Okay, yeah, that's a nice
yeah,
neighborhood. I can see why you'd
it
be
is.
getting 20s thrown at you. Whatever
Yeah.
happened with piano? What? I mean, you were good at it naturally.
I mean, I guess it's just like a time thing. I was like an athlete ever since I
Yeah.
was a kid. So I did multiple sports and it's just also I had to focus on school, getting good grades. So, it was just something that I didn't really have time for, unfortunately. But a few Christmases ago, I got an electric guitar. So I've
Oh,
been trying to learn it. I was promised lessons. I just never had the time to go and it sucks, but I use YouTube. I use like little guitar apps and every now and then I'll mess with it and try and figure out a tune, but I can play a few things, a few rock songs. Not the best, but from what I can learn. So it's fun, it stimulates your mind. So
yeah.
yeah.
Good. All right. Well, I'm glad, you have some sort of musical outlet because you were good. And I was like, she's got this. And you were like, what, 7 or something? It's crazy.
Yeah.
Um, do you put both socks on at once and then your shoes, or do you do sock, then shoe, then
Mm.
sock, then shoe?
I do sock, sock, shoe, shoe.
Sock, sock. Yeah, that's what normal people do. I was about to call
Yeah.
you like a crazy person if you did one or the other.
No,
You
I
know,
have like a little bit of OCD, so things have to be even and
Mhm.
just,
Are
it's
you a
even if
neat
you put on
freak?
your socks first.
Are you like a
Yes.
and
Yes.
you attribute that to mostly being in the service, making beds. You is your bed made right now?
It is. It
Like
is.
perfectly?
Yes, it is made.
All right, yep. See, and little
Yep.
Kermit the Frog there or whatever. Nice.
Hmm.
So you make it though as if someone's gonna burst in wearing fatigues and be like, "What about that corner right there?"
Yeah, so even before the military, like I was a perfectionist. Everything I do, literally the way I write, the way my books sit up, the way my curtains lie, it has to be even and perfect because if not it irks me and it's like a little bit like I guess just messy even if it's a little bit off. It's just an OCD thing. I'm just like it has to be perfect. And going to the military like that's a good thing to have. Like all my clothes were folded perfectly, my bed was always perfect and also on top of the training I got for being neat, it kind of like added to it. So now it's like I clean my room obsessively, like everything is always clean, my bed is always made, my clothes are always washed, like just everything is always neat. And I feel like to navigate like through life and just stressful things, like everything being neat just helps it out,
Right. Yeah, it takes
organization.
everything off your mind and then focus on what's really important. I mean,
Right.
going back to kindergarten, you would get really upset if you had a 9 out of 10 on your AR test. And I'm not gonna be like,
Yeah.
no, it's not that big of a deal. You killed it. You got a 90%. That's good. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm still that way. If I get a B, I'm just like, oh my gosh, like that sucks. Like I'm so mad.
yeah,
But I mean, really in the end, it is a good grade. Like it's not horrible. It's not like it's an F or a D. So I'll take it. Especially being in harder courses. Like in high school, I took a bunch of college classes to get ahead. And I mean, obviously they were really hard, as a high schooler and just navigating how to use like Moodle and just like college programs and all that. And I'm just like, man, if I get a B, I'll take it. Like that's good. A B is good. So I've kind of got past that a little bit, but obviously I always strive for 100. So yeah.
there you go. I'll give you a thing for that. If you woke up tomorrow morning and had totally forgotten how old you are, how old would you think you were?
That's a good question. Well, other people, they think I'm older than I am. Um, I actually funny story. I used to work at Cane's before I left for the
Oh, okay.
military.
I called it.
I did. I did. I worked at Cane's for about a year. And it was great. I had a lot of friends. The place was clean. I was drive-through, so I got to talk to people. I got tips, and it was nice.
Oh, wait, did
Um,
you have to say, hey, what's cooking or a
I
corny?
did. What's
What was?
poppin'? Thanks for stopping.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right, right,
yeah. And I met this guy over there who worked over there with me, and it was one of my first days over there. And he came up to me and like introduced himself and everything. I introduced myself, and he was like, "How old are you? Like 25, 30?" I was like, "I'm like 18."
right,
I
right,
was like young. But honestly, like it just depends on what I like if my makeup's done or whatever. But if my makeup's done, I would say maybe 20, 21, maybe pushing
right.
it. But with no makeup, I'd say probably like my age, like 19.
All right, how old do I look?
Hmm?
How old do I look?
How old do you look? You look probably like I would say like late 20s.
See? So mine is the opposite. I'm 40.
You're 40?
I'm 40.
You don't even look 40.
It's only because I dress like a high school student, you know? I guess that's what it is. And I'm a little immature, I guess. But I appreciate the compliment, and you should appreciate the compliment that you look older. Although that guy was probably just hitting on you, so you know.
Yeah, probably.
Okay. Um, have you ever fake cried?
Fake cried? Um, not like as an adult, but
Not
like when I
recently.
was a kid, when I was a kid for sure, all the time, like to get my way. Yeah,
Speaking
for
of,
sure.
my cat is fake crying right now. Get out of here. They always come into my room when I'm doing a podcast and just start crying.
Yeah.
Um, let's see. Have you ever been in a fist fight or some sort of physical altercation?
I've not been in a fist fight. I mean, I wouldn't consider fighting with my brother a fist fight with
Ah,
pillows.
nah.
So no,
Toss
not a
that
fist
out.
fight. Um, I'd say like I'm very unproblematic. I try not to get in arguments. I don't like arguing. If there is any kind of disagreement, I like to be civil just because I feel like arguing is such a heat of the moment thing and people say things that they don't really mean and it just turns into a bigger problem. But actually, yeah, recently, actually, like a few days ago, I got into an argument. with my cousin over just stupid things that, we're good now, but it was just a heat in the moment thing and we were both upset. But I try to go a good route with that. I try to be mature with it because you never know what someone else is going through. You never know what someone else is thinking. You never know the meaning behind certain things. So I try to be understanding through everything, and I like to talk. I don't like to argue and fight. So
Right.
I try to stay as civil as possible, but sometimes, like, if I have to get my point across, I get my point across. You know what I'm saying? So,
You have a
yeah,
sassy side, but you mostly stay level headed.
yeah, I try to stay level-headed as much as possible. Yeah.
So no, like during the heat of like practice when you were playing volleyball, like you never like shoved somebody or nobody shoved you or like talk trash to the other team or something like that.
I've never talked trash to the other team, but some girl on my team, one year whenever I was doing club volleyball, it was my second year of club volleyball. I already started off rocky. I tried out with a concussion because I got in a car accident, which it was rough. And because of that, like I wasn't really in the right headspace for anything. I was just kind of like brain dead, low key. Um, but all the girls on my team were from a private school and they were all best friends because they all went to school since they were babies and they all knew each other. I was
Very
just kind of like the
clicky.
outsider.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, everyone was like super tight except for me. Well, I tried making those relationships because I mean, you need some kind of social relationship on a team, you work together. And me being the hitter, I had beef with the libero on my team.
Mm.
And this girl, she just thought she could tell me what to do and she thought she could push me around and everything. And, I tried to keep my cool because, like I said, I don't like to argue. I don't like to fight, especially with people I don't really know. So I'm just like, I just ignored it. I really did. Like during games, if she were to tell me something, I would ignore it and just do my thing. And the coach will correct me if I need to be corrected. So I'm just like chilling, doing my own thing. Well, this one game I got extremely fed up. Like I'm saying, like I've never been this mad. Like I was so fed up. And she was telling me like you don't do anything right. Like on the court mid game, you don't do anything right. Like you're not in the right position. That was not my ball, that was your ball. And I'm
Wow.
just like, well, first of all, first ball over the net is your ball, not mine. I'm a hitter. Second of all, don't be telling me what to do whenever I'm doing the right thing. The coach will correct me. And like this is the first time I ever like got in someone's face. Like I went up to her and I was like shut the up, like don't speak to me, like I'm trying to do my thing. Like I exploded, and that was the last time I spoke to her.
Well, that's probably for the best.
Yeah,
As I'm watching these games, these are college girls, and even after like the worst, like, oh my God, how did you get like, dunked on like that? They all seem to come together in that little group huddle, pat each other on the butt, and everything seems good. Even when
yeah,
they're checking in and out, and they have to like hold their jersey up or whatever. I don't know what that means yet, but it
yeah,
designates something to the referee. Um, and they're all like patting each other. Like everyone seems really friendly in college ball. I've never seen an altercation even after a game. Like the most recent thing I saw was like a girl spiked the ball so hard that it hit the other team's girl in the face, and she like
yeah.
went under the net and went and made sure she was okay. Like
Hmm.
volleyball players are like the nicest I've ever seen in any
Hmm.
women's sport.
Yeah, actually, I've done that before. The beginning of my senior year, like I slammed this girl. She fell to the ground and everything. And like my coach was like, "Don't you dare go over there." But I went and I was like picking her up, make sure you're okay. Like I'm sorry, because I mean, I've been hit in the face before and I've got concussions from it. Like it can literally ruin your season.
Oh yeah,
And obviously, like that was a scrimmage at the way beginning. That was like our first game ever. So of course it's gonna be like upsetting if you're injured the very first game. You're going to be out for the next few games. So, just good, companionship, just good, being a good player is it has to do with that. Even to the girls who were entitled on my game, I mean my team, the girl who I went off at, like I
right.
tried to be a good player to her as well because, like I said, you never know what someone's going through, but I also don't tolerate disrespect. So that's why one of the main reasons why I went up to her and said something. But yeah, usually everyone's very friendly and very nice, and that's just how you connect. If you have beef with someone on the court, you don't like your rhythm isn't good, you don't play well. So
Yeah,
it's
especially
always best to
if
have a
they're
good
saying
relationship.
something like that wasn't my ball to hit. Like, you should have had that. Like, come on, man, y'all should be bumping heads trying to get that ball back up in the air.
Exactly. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, for sure.
If you could master one skill overnight, what would it be?
One skill. Hmm, man. I would say maybe like you're talking about like a hobby or just like anything.
It could be anything from speaking a certain language, playing a certain instrument,
Hmm.
any sort of feat that usually takes about 1,000 hours to be decent at.
Really good at. I would say speaking Spanish, because my whole dad's side of the family, they're all Puerto Rican, Cuban, they're all very fluent. And I didn't grow up learning Spanish. So, I did what I could in my Spanish classes, but I mean,
Yeah,
obviously they're not going to make you be fluent, but it helped me pick up a few words here and there. I can get a grasp of a conversation, but I would like to be fluent. It's just a good skill to have, like in, workplaces with family, just anywhere, it's
yeah,
always a good skill to have. So, yeah.
yeah. I wish I would have taken French a little more serious. You know, it's a very
Mhm.
charming and romantic language. Spanish as
It
well,
is.
but
Yeah.
I think whisper everything and make it sound so sexy. But
Yeah.
yeah, I guess my French teacher was just really rude, and so it really turned me off of the language. She was like this old bitter lady, and yeah, I was a class clown, so I had no interest
Yeah.
in learning how to speak French. But I passed
Hmm.
only because I think she never wanted to see me again. So she just gave me a passing D just so I could get the hell out of there. I don't know. If there was one crystal ball truth, like, okay, so there's a question floating in your mind that you never know the truth about, but you are granted one truth that you will, as soon as you hear it, you'll know that it's the truth. What would that be?
Um, I guess like I would want to know like if I'm meant to be a mechanical engineer. That's like my biggest thing. I'm just very optimistic. I like to know what happens and how things go before the fact. So the fact that I'm going into college and, kind of not expecting certain things is like a little scary to me. I'm a planner as well, so I like to have things planned ahead and know what's going to happen. Um, so, it's a little scary sometimes thinking like, mechanical engineering is really hard. I don't know. I don't know if I'm meant for it. I don't know if I'm gonna fail out of it. I just don't know. But I guess like the truth like of what like I'm meant to do in the future would be great because I also don't like to waste time. So, I wouldn't want to spend all this time in engineering and just, not be meant for it. So, yeah,
All right, I was listening. I had to kick my cat out. It was driving me insane.
it's okay.
But yeah, I mean, so basically, you want to know the near future.
I do really bad,
Like, you want to
but
know
it's
what's going to
impossible.
happen
So,
in an hour.
yeah,
Do
yeah,
you have that kind of like setup where you have like a calendar and you write like, all right, 2 to 2:30, I'm gonna go do this, and then
yeah,
all right,
for sure. Yeah, I have multiple schedules on my phone. I have a planner that I write stuff down in. I just like, I'm very, you know, time, date, event, this is what's happening. Yeah, it keeps me in line and I like a schedule, I like a routine. So yeah, that's helpful.
you strike me as someone who, when they go to the grocery store, you don't forget anything.
No, like I make a list ahead of time. So,
You're not just like
yeah.
some, oh yeah, I could take a bag of these chips, and oh man, you get home and you forgot the dish detergent.
Yeah. Nope, I never forget anything. I make sure everything's on the list. I got everything I need. Boom, done. One trip.
Nice. I need a little bit of more of that in my life. Um,
Yeah.
Not that I'm not structured, but there's sometimes you forget about dryer sheets. It's like, damn it,
Yeah,
that was the whole reason I went.
right.
What is your guilty pleasure fast food or like chain restaurant?
Food, I would say,
Like you know you're
it's a
not
good
really supposed
one.
to be eating this, but eh,
Well, I would say I have a few. I have a few actually. I really like recently I discovered Firehouse Subs. I've never had it before,
yes,
but I
they're
had it for the
good.
first time a few weeks ago and I'm like obsessed with it. I love it.
What's
Um,
your order from there?
Firehouse Subs. I get the chicken bacon ranch, but I replace the cheddar for provolone
Nice,
and
classy.
so good. Like the dressing in there is amazing. And then Chipotle, always down for Chipotle. I love Chipotle. And then I would say like my unhealthy one is probably Cane's. Like I would go to
Okay.
Cane's like if I'm like I'm starving, I want something to eat now. I'm just like so hungry. Go to Cane's, you know?
Right, and Cane's is also one of the places where you have to eat it right at that moment when it's fresh.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
it doesn't really like it has like a maybe 20-minute shelf life before it's like, these fries are soggy and the chicken is kind of weird now.
Exactly, yeah. And they're very quick with their orders and they're open late, so if I
Yeah.
have a late night, it's like one of the only places open. So yeah,
So
I'll
you
go
go to the
there.
one on Highland right there, huh? Like right off the
Yeah.
interstate. Yep. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's the OG
Yep,
spot, man.
for sure.
Speaking of my old buddy, this is his birthday today, and he used to work at Cane's all through his LSU career. And rest in peace. But today's his birthday, so good for him.
Yeah,
He
for sure.
put his ass through LSU and worked at Cane's. He would always like hook us
Mhm.
up with like an extra bread or whatever, a little toast. Good time.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, have you ever had any ghost or UFO sightings? Anything weird like that?
No, like UFO sightings? No, I've never. Not really.
Do you believe in any kind of weird, like, do you think there are aliens watching us and they eventually come down one day?
I'm not sure about watching us, but maybe. I'm not sure. But I do believe there's other life out there. There's no way that we're the only life in the whole entire space. So I know for sure, like I believe, I mean, that there's other life out there for sure. And
Right.
then those other life probably consider us being aliens, and you never know. So I do believe that, yeah.
You are you familiar with the simulation theory?
No, I'm not.
Okay, so if you think about how humans have progressed just in our lifetime, you know, how the first I or the first cell phone I ever got was like a brick. You had to like text
Yeah,
all weird. And then skip to like maybe 15 years later, we have like a processor computer in our hands, in our pockets.
right.
Let's skip ahead another 15 years. What are we going to be capable of?
Hmm.
Like if we just exponentially keep up in the ante of what science and technology is available to us, don't you think we would have reached a certain point to where we left this planet, we started a whole new planet, and then we've already lived this life before? Am I getting
Hmm.
too crazy about this? Or
No, like I think about that too sometimes, like how like in 15 years, like when I'm done with college, have a family like on my own, like what is it gonna be like? What are my kids gonna grow up with? Like what kind of world are we gonna be living in, you know? I think about stuff like that all the time and I know people are experiencing or experimenting with space and time travel or whatever. Like I don't know. Have you seen Interstellar?
oh yeah, like
Yeah.
one
So
hour here is 7 years on Earth or something. Like what?
yeah, I know it's crazy. The possibilities and what's to come, but for sure, like 15 years, I'm sure there's definitely gonna be some more advanced stuff like AI, for example. Like AI honestly is a little scary to me. AI scares me a lot, but I hope humans don't lose track of learning things on their own and just
Right.
using AI, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like maybe in the future people might become a little bit more like dumb, I guess,
Right.
because they don't learn
And
things themselves. Like I see it in college all the time. People just use ChatGPT for all their assignments, and it's like you're not learning anything, you know, you're going to school to look up answers, and it's just crazy. Like I never really would have imagined like AI would be a thing, but who knows for the next 15 years.
yeah, and they're gonna replace a lot of jobs that AI will just complete much better than a human. And
Hmm.
like that's something I'm going back to school in the spring, and I'm just looking at jobs that AI isn't going to take. You know, like
Right.
why would
Yeah.
I go to school for something that in 15 years they're going to just start paying you universal basic income like allowance because your
Hmm.
job got taken over by AI. And it's like, sorry,
Exactly.
you did great, but not as good as this guy, and this guy is free, you know?
Right.
So
Exactly.
it's
Yeah.
kind of scary, but
Hmm.
I don't know. I think your major is pretty safe because you can be a part of sort of
Hmm.
course correcting the AI, you know,
Right.
keep it
Yeah.
for good. All
Yeah,
right,
for sure.
last couple questions here. Um, well, actually, this is the last one. This is a good one. You are religious, I assume.
Oh, yes, I am.
Are you as religious as you were as a child?
At where?
As a
Oh, as a
child,
child?
yeah,
Um, I would say a little bit more. As a
really,
child, I was raised Catholic. And as a kid, I didn't relate to any of it. And, no shade against, Catholics at all, because I mean, I was baptized Catholic and I still, I have a lot of friends who are Catholic. But I find the religion that's best for me is non-denominational slash Baptist. Um, I don't know if you're familiar with the Bayou in Lafayette, but I
that's a
would go
church.
there.
Okay,
They're just I feel like a little bit more like what's the word? Like I guess personable.
okay,
So they talk about real world experience. They sing songs. They're just more like I guess directed toward the people.
right,
Um like it's easier for me to understand. It's easier for my sister who's 11 years old to understand. You know what I'm saying?
right.
So I connected with that a lot.
It's not just
Yeah.
straight up. Today we're gonna read this from the Bible, and it's just like
Right.
it sounds like old ye English, where it's like unto they who said blah blah. You know, it's just like what I can you
Right.
read it over again? I didn't quite understand what the message was for that. Like,
Right. Yeah. And they give real world advice and like it actually is life changing, like for real. So that's why I really love it. So yeah, I have yet to find a church like that over here though, but yeah, I would usually go to the one in Lafayette whenever I lived over there.
all right, so final question:
Hmm.
what happens when we die?
When we die, oh man. Um, you know, I believe there is a heaven, but I also believe that if you haven't fulfilled your purpose as a person, you could possibly be reincarnated. I feel like life doesn't just end, like you're not just dead and like that's it, like nothing else, you're just there. Like I'm sure like also I've heard conspiracy theories about deja vu. Like you feel like whenever you get deja vu, it's like something from your past life that you experienced. So I'm not
Yeah,
sure. There's a lot of possibilities and although I am religious, I think, being like brought back into the world after death, I think it could be a real thing. And, it's just the circle of life, you die, you come back as something else, you die, you come back as something else. And, you know, you never know,
right.
until you actually die. So,
Well, they have that saying of oh, that's an old soul right there, you know,
yeah,
or like there's a 4-year old who can play all of Beethoven's songs,
right.
you know, and they've never given her lessons or anything. It was just like she just sat down and
They
started
just
playing all
know
this,
it.
and it's just like, okay, explain this to me, God. Like, what's going on here? This is insane.
Right.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's a good point.
I really, I mean, I consider myself agnostic. Like I know there's something out there. I know something's
Mhm.
going on, but I haven't tied myself to an actual religion to where I'm like, well, if you do good, you're gonna go to heaven. If you do something
Right,
bad, you're going to hell, buddy. Like that's what I
right.
was always like taught as a kid. Like you said, like when you don't really know any better, but when you start thinking about things a little more logically and kind of put your own spin on it as to, like you said, being more personable about what the Bible means and like how it
Hmm.
relates to current day issues and everything, makes a lot more palatable to understand
Right.
and like you said, like you don't want to disparage like the Christian or the Catholic Church or the Christian Church or whatever. That's a very positive way to look at the whole thing because no one really has the answer. And look,
Right.
wars are being fought over disagreements from religion,
Hmm.
So to me, it's
Yeah.
best to kind of stay right in the middle and just focus on being a good person and
Right. Yeah.
going every day that you're alive.
Exactly. Like everyone sins. It's going to happen. No one is perfect. So, like you said, as long as you focus on being a good person and growing yourself and improving in the things you do in life, then you're solid, I think. No matter what happens after death, like you're solid. So,
Yeah, God is forgiving, right? That's what I heard.
right. Yep. Yep.
Well, Claire, thank you so much for being on the show. It's a long time coming, and I've been so, I don't think I'm ever going to have kids. So seeing you grow from a kindergartner to where you are now, it's just awesome. And I'm so happy for you. And
For sure.
it's just crazy how time flies and look at you.
Hmm.
So you're off today,
Yeah.
you have no classes. You're
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate that. Letting me talk about, all my experiences. I'm always happy to share, so I appreciate that.
well, the pleasure's all mine. And this is how I wrap up every show. Until next time, don't die.
Alrighty.